Hi Esker, this is Bobby from Epic. I recently put in an application for the product consultant role, and as part of the application process, I was tasked with a programming challenge. So I downloaded Visual Studio Community Edition, I wrote a program up, it's a little Windows form, and then I went to submit it and I realized you guys might not use Visual Studio, so I thought it'd be easiest if I just make a video showing you the program. And then if you happen to also have the capability and will to compile this yourself and play with it, then I'll also include a link to the source code when I send this email off a little later tonight. So I guess what I'm going to do here is launch the application, run you through it, and then I guess just tell you how I built it top to bottom. Shouldn't take too long. So let's run the application. The first thing we get here is the Windows form with no options other than the ability to select a file. So we're going to select a file and we get a dialog viewer that allows us to select from one of 6 prepared text documents. I have these going from 0 to 5 in increasing order of difficulty. We'll work through these in that order. So for the first one, you can see the preview on the right. So this file just holds the word Dodge. So let's pull that in. So we're going to select that. On the left side, you'll see the raw text. There's just a raw text viewer. I just have a text box here that pulls that information in and throws it in there unedited. In the middle, we have the breakdown, which is the information that's requested in this section of the programming challenge. The number of words, the number of lines, the number of characters, and then for each character we have to figure out what type of character it is. So it falls into one of these 4 buckets. Either it's a letter, it's a number, it is a space of some sort, which includes not only spaces, white spaces, but also new lines. And then finally other characters, which includes things like tildes, question marks, and other unidentified objects. So when it's done with that, we move over to the right side and we have a data grid view set up, and we're able to see the number of words that have X number of letters in them. So the number of words that have 1 letter in them for this piece of information is 0. The number of words that we have with 5 letters in them is 1. So I guess now that you kind of see how that works, I'll run through the other ones really quickly and then I'll show you how I made it. So you can see the path that we just used at the top. This program automatically goes and pulls information from that path. This is where the dialog viewer instantly reaches into, and then also filters for just text files. So let's pull in the next one here. Dodge what? It looks like 10 characters, but you have to remember there is the new line character right there. So there is actually a total of 11 total characters. 1 5-letter word, 1 4-letter word. Everything's looking good, making sense. I'm sure at this point you're familiar enough with these that you're probably sick of working through everybody's code. So I won't hold your hand here. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to double check the work. I'm not going to read through all of this information for you. We'll move to the next one. This one's experimenting with gaps, and it's having no trouble counting the number of lines. And then finally, this one pulls in just a huge piece of text. I just Googled wall of text or something and got the old lorem ipsum, lipsum or whatever. If you've used LaTeX, you've probably seen that quite a bit. So this box on the right goes from 1 to n, where n is the highest number of letters that is contained in a word. If it goes off the chart, then we get a scroll bar that lets you scroll down further. I guess I should have displayed that, but I can assure you it does behave well to excessive data. The raw text viewer additionally does a similar thing where if there's too much information, you get an additional scroll bar that goes vertically. Anyway, I'm not sure that you're interested in the user interface so much as how the data is handled. So I guess we'll just jump in and I'll show you kind of how this works top to bottom. Ultimately, I guess the easiest way for me to show you how this is grouped is to just group it into 3 sections. So first of all, the first section is selecting a file, which happens, yeah, pretty much all here. And then we read in the file and we turn it into one long string. We turn that string into a character array. We initialize for loops that we're about to do, and then basically what we're doing is we're throwing all of those characters that are in that long character array, we're throwing them into 4 buckets. So there's the bucket of either this is a character, or this is a number, or it's a white space, or it's something else. So everything's going to end up in one of those buckets. If it is a character, then we know we're either building a word or starting a new word. And if it's anything else, then we know if we've already started building a word, we need to stop building the word and refresh everything. So you can see I did use a bit of modularization. I put one little method down here. I just passed everything by reference, and there's nothing fancy here going on. So once we have everything sorted into the buckets, we display the information on labels. I'm just having the label text append the information, and then finally the data grid view on the right side populates the information from 1 to n. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what else you might be interested in looking at here. Like I said, I'm going to include the source code. Yeah, cool. Thanks.